between your thumb and your forefinger, right there.
And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
The future is now, but do you want to jump on board? A Wisconsin company, the first in the nation to offer employees microchips.
Workers at 3 Square Market will be able to use the chips to pay for break room snacks, to get into the building, and log onto their computers. Ow!
The company says they don't have GPS, so they won't actually track the employees' locations. Joining us right now is CEO of 3 Square Market, Todd Westby, who will be getting the chip next month. Todd, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yes, good morning. Thanks for having me with you.
Okay, you know, we're always worried about Big Brother watching, so why is it so many of your employees are saying, I'm not worried about them tracking me because I'm just using this for convenience?
Well, first of all, Big Brother is usually associated with GPS tracking. This device, you're not able to track anything with GPS, and we're a technology company, so doing something like this really was not far-fetched for our employees when we first presented the idea to them.
Why did you decide to do it?
Because it's the right thing to do. It's responsible innovation for things that are going to be happening in the future, just like driverless cars were being talked about 10 years ago. They're happening today, and we just think to be on the forefront of this, we can help shape the future.
And Todd, does your company get involved in microchips? Do you want to eventually sell this to other people? Or briefly tell us about what your company does so we have some context.
We're actually a software provider, and we create self-checkout kiosks for prisons, for inmates to use within jails, and for break room markets to purchase products with a self-checkout in a micro market or break room environment.
So in this case, if one of your employees wants to get a Snickers bar in the break room, if they've got this microchip in the hand,
you wave.
It'll go through their ATM card or something. You wave at it, and then, but in a more serious matter than beyond snacks, my understanding is that it also can keep medical records, for example. Isn't there, I understand what you're saying about no GPS, but if your medical records are on this chip, who has access to it, and who might gain access to it, who doesn't belong?
Well, everything is encrypted on it, and the medical records are 100% encrypted on it. As far as anybody gaining access to it, it's really whoever you give access to it by just basically waving your hand in front of an RFID reader, such as when you check into a hospital or something. You can't walk by it like a cell phone and read the data off of it because it's 100% encrypted.
Interesting stuff. With Todd's going to be getting it himself just in a couple of days.
Todd, does it hurt?
I haven't had it yet, but by all accounts, everything, Yohan, the individual who'll be piercing me with it, says there's no pain whatsoever.
That's what they always say before.
Yeah. We have a huge show ahead after this. Thanks for joining us.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
It's right in between the thumb and the forefinger.
Tony Dana of 3 Square Market says more than 50 workers at the company have already volunteered to have the chips implanted.
What's the benefit for the employees to have this?
Convenience. That's the biggest thing. You're going to be able to, our ultimate goal is to eliminate the wallet.
The same company already has high-tech kiosks like this at a number of companies in the area that even include fingerprint scans. But soon, you may be able to pay for your purchase just by holding up your hand.
But outside the company, even supporters of the idea are a bit skeptical.
I wouldn't be the first to try it, but I think if a lot of people did it, I would do it.
I think it's a great technological advancement. However, it worries me a little bit with what that data is going to be used for.
Marquette University's Scott Durso is an expert in privacy issues relating to technology.
Putting technology in our bodies is not something that comes naturally.
He says the idea of implanted microchips may seem disturbing to a lot of people now, but maybe not for long.
This won't be a big deal 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
The latest office innovation is a microchip implanted in the skin and designed to replace the traditional keypad for opening doors, using the copier, even buying food in the cafeteria. To some, it's right out of 1984, but Jamie Yukas found willing workers in 2017.
So you can keep an eye on me?
Yes. To some, it may sound like a plot of a James Bond movie, but in River Falls, Wisconsin, employees at a vending company are going from the assembly line to front of the pack to get microchipped.
Do you think this is the future?
It is the future, and we look at this as being responsible.
Todd Westby is the owner of 3 Square Market. By next week, at least 50 of his 80 employees have signed up to become bionic, using what's called a RFID transponder in a microchip meant to make the workplace experience faster and more efficient.
So when you have the chip, you're just going to hold it up here and all those same options will come up?
The implant, which has been FDA approved, is the size of a grain of rice and is injected under the skin between the thumb and index finger by a licensed piercer. This company is offering the chips, which cost about $300 a piece, to its employees for free. Westby says they are not GPS enabled yet.
You're not going to be tracking your employees around town to see what they're up to and what they're doing?
No, we will not. It's for entrance to the building, logging into computers, making purchases in our break room market.
Westby says even if GPS became available, he would not use it on employees.
The concerns are, what information am I storing on this? What information am I giving away?
CNET editor Dan Ackerman says this technology raises red flags over privacy.
Anything can really potentially be hacked, especially because most of the actual information, it's not encoded on the tiny device under your skin of your hand by itself. You can never leave it behind. You can't really turn it off.
However, assembly line worker Eric White plans to be the first in line. He thinks someday the chips could save lives.
Somebody who's allergic to something or has a condition, they could scan your hand and all the information is there.
A promising self-service for some, a dystopian nightmare for others. Either way, the future is here. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, River Falls, Wisconsin.